Hi guys, this is Arif from TechShare. So today I'm going to start Sitecore Experience Accelerator video series. So my idea would be to convert an existing website to Sitecore Experience Accelerator website. So basically, if you search in YouTube, then you will find a lot of the different videos where you will find different steps. So how you actually create your tenant, create your site, then how you actually configure your data source, how can you create your different rendering variants and everything. But this video is not going to follow that approach. So this video would be sort of interesting in terms of how you are going to convert an existing website to the storefront, and that way in Sitecore Experience Accelerator. So my intention would be I downloaded this template from a free template provider website, basically a website, anything possible. So I take that one and I can now running this website in my local machine. So now this is nothing but some CSS, HTML and images, right? Different medias. So how we actually convert this website to a SXA backed, or you can say Sitecore platform backed website through SXA, so that we can make this website to a dynamic website. So dynamic means anytime you can change the content author can change anything, publish that content and get it done instantly, this kind of thing. So obviously you can use Sitecore platform to implement this kind of thing, but we are going to use SXA. Why? Because SXA is accelerator thing. It will give you a lot of benefit. So let's just jump into the main development. So now the very first thing, as I told you before, that I'm not going to explicitly mention different steps like from beginning to end, but while I'm converting this website, I will try to follow the step that normally we should follow as a beginner. And worth mentioning that I'm not a very expert on Sitecore Experience Accelerator. I started learning since December 2020, so it's only 2 months or so. So still I'm learning, so I really don't have the full 100% knowledge of SXA, because it has a lot of different modules and components. So it will take some time, but we'll learn, we'll go through that. Okay. So now the very first thing we need to do to convert this website to SXA, we need to create a tenant. So we have different tenant, you will see here. So I'm not going to use the existing one. So what I'll do, I'll create a tenant now. So let's create a tenant and say dev tenant. I think basically that terms is pretty fine, dev tenant. So why dev tenant? Because we are going to develop everything here in this tenant, and in order to jump start with this new thing, what is worth is to consider everything, to tick everything here. So that's what I'm doing right now. So let me just press the button. Okay, by the way, if you want to install the SXA, it's really easy. You just need to go to dev.sitecore.net. you can grab the package. This is the version 10 right now. You need to grab that package, and you just need to go to Sitecore and install that package. That's it. Okay, so once you have the tenant ready, so I'll try to make this video it's a bit shorter. It's not going to be very big, but well, let's see. I'm just trying to think that it will be finished by 10 or 15 to 20 minutes maximum. Okay, so dev tenant. So now the tenant is there, so now you can create your different websites inside that tenant. Okay, so this is the concept. So if you want to create a website, you cannot straight away do that. You need to first create the tenant, and through that you can go to the website level and you can create your different website in that tenant. Well, you will see a lot of other concepts will come, like how you're going to share different tenant data, how are you going to share different template, different data source to your different website, everything. But that, please hold those questions for now, because we have that opportunity in this SXA. So as you actually explore, you will find everything. So in the dev tenant, what I'm going to do is I'll create a website. So this site would be dev website. Make this simple. You can configure your host name, virtual folder, everything, but for now I'm just gonna keep as it is. And then in the modules, which is very important, so since this is a dev website, so we are not gonna untick anything. We are gonna take everything that we have here, unless this website service, this is my own developed module, so I'm not gonna tick this one because this is not necessary here. So when we will create our own module in this website in the next videos, then we will know how actually we can do that and how can we include later on. So anyway, I mean, one thing worth mentioning here is this thing, you can actually tick untick anytime later on. So for example, if you untick some module for now and if you later on want to include that, that is also possible. So don't be afraid of this thing. So for now we are going to take everything and the theme, which is very important. So what we are going to take is we are going to take wireframe theme. Why? Because the idea is, this is very important. So SXA enables developer and front-enders to work together, which means a developer can work with the wireframes. So backend developer I'm talking about. The Sitecore developer who are backend developer, they can create different component, different layouts, different module, and they can actually provide some sort of wireframe template. Means you will not see the real design, but a sort of skeleton of the main design, right? And then you can basically create your real component in that design. So whenever you are ready, as a backend point of view, you are ready to have your single page, for example, and then your content editor can straight away create different component, different layout and everything on that page, and then they can see the content going. Okay, so but the design won't be the real design. So once the front end can work and provide some theme to the website, then only we can actually see the real website with the real design. Okay, so in terms of content and everything, backend can actually provide the real thing, real content, but not the real design, but a skeleton design through the wireframe. At the same time, front end can start working with their design. They can maybe hire some different digital agency to or maybe some other software firm to have some design, some creativity there, and they can pull those things up and they can actually publish that thing to the theme of this website. Once that is there, then you will see the design, real design of the website. And now the grid here, so we are gonna use the grid 4 for our layout, and then we'll press the OK button. So this will take a bit time, so I'll be coming back once this installation will be done. Now you can see here the installation has completed. It took around 2 minutes or so. So now if you explore through, then you will see this is the tenant, dev tenant, and then under that you have this dev website. So yeah, you can create as many websites as you can under this tenant. But now what we will we need to mention something here, especially the different thing that we get out of the box through the website creation process is, you'll see here in the home it doesn't have anything, but it has overlay. Means you can actually put your lightweight boxes and everything on top of the pages and everything, this kind of thing. And then you have the media folder. Media folder basically is a shortcut of your media library. So any media, any content, any media that you're going to put inside the media library, you can actually access through this shortcut. So that is basically give you a sort of opportunity to explore your media easily. And then very importantly, you have the data folder. Basically consists all of your data sources, all the different rendering that you used. You need that data, right? So that data will be defined here in these data sources. And then we have very important, the dictionary is dictionary. So the key value pair that you are gonna store here, and the presentation is very important. The first of all, you have the available rendering. So what is this? We'll learn later on. And then you have very importantly, couple of things we need to mention is this page design and partial design, because the Experience Accelerator enables you to create different partial design, and then later on you can Lego those different partial design into a page, and that way you can actually construct a real page. So this is the concept you need to follow if you follow SXA. Well, if you follow standard Sitecore platform, then we have the different so basically we need to create a layout first, right? And in the layout we will have different placeholder, and then what you can do later on is you can create different renderings, and then you can Lego different renderings in different placeholders, right? So that's how actually we built a standard website, different components, or you can say componentization through Sitecore. But here the concept is It also has placeholder and everything, but what you need to do, you need to create different partial design, and then you can actually compose your page through the page design. So you really need to understand this too. I'll show you in a minute. And then very importantly, we have the rendering variants. So rendering variants basically will allow you to render the different variants of your content. So what is that? I'll explain later on as we progress through. So let's just jump into the partial design as a first video, I would say. So now, very importantly, we need to investigate, we need to analyze the existing website that we are going to convert. So here you can see here in the existing website we have a header. Okay, so in the header I can see here it has two sort of row. The first row, it has a logo image, and then it has some sort of text here, some information here, and then here you can see it has 4 different social link. And then in the second row, basically it has a link navigation, and then it has another link here. Through that you can go to different pages. Okay, so this is the header, and then we have the footer. So why we are concentrating on header and footer? Because this is basically, if you explore every page, for example this about page, then you will see this header and footer is consistent through all the pages. Go to practice, then you will also see the same here. So that's why the idea is we are going to implement the header footer first, and then we will actually reuse this header and footer in every pages that we are going to develop here. Okay, so once the header and footer is ready, then we will actually focus on the real content, the main section of this website, basically from here to all the through this to down here. So let's do that. So for that, what we need to do is, the concept is, in the partial design we need to start using header and footer. So this is a common thing. So we are going to create a folder called common or shared, whatever you like, and in the common we are gonna create a partial design called header. So we're gonna be a bit fast here. The header, we are going to open this one in Experience Accelerator, and then here the idea here is, as I told you before, we just need to split this header section into 2 first. So now when we open this one in Experience Editor, then interestingly Experience Editor will always offer you these 3 different section. One is the header, main, and footer, because out of the box Experience Accelerator provides this sort of layout. So what we will do is, since this is header, Experience Accelerator doesn't know that we are actually going to modify or going to create something for header. So this is our responsibility to control that. So since this is for the header, so we are gonna push everything in this top section, header section, right? So let's go here and then jump into the main design here. So first of all, we are gonna split this header section into 2. So for that, we just need to go to page structure and then split rows, drag this one here. Okay, and then we have these 2 rows. The first row is say row 1, and then the second row it says 2, 1, right? So these 2, the first row we have this company logo. So for that we need to go to here media. We are gonna use the image, and it has actually 2 images, image and image reusable. So always reusable is fun, benefited. So we are gonna take the reusable one, and we are dropping to the first one top. Okay, and now we are gonna create a folder first, and we say this is our header. Okay, and then inside the header image we are gonna create a data source, and then I'm gonna tell this on this logo, company logo maybe. Okay, so in the company logo you'll see here the logo actually occupied the whole space that we are gonna have here. So we need to adjust this one, because if you examine this one, then I can say, if you consider this full layout, so since we are using grid 4 uses 12 column layout. So if you think this is actually 4, and then maybe this one 2 to 4, and 2 6, and 2 8, and then 1 2 3 4. Okay, so this way we are gonna control this one. Okay, so let's go here, and then what we'll do is we'll change this one. Okay, so look, I mean, if you also consider the design for mobile as well, so you can control that one. So for now, to keep this video very simple, we're just thinking about the laptop and desktop design. Okay, we can easily convert this onto mobile, so we can actually say, okay, for mobile we just need to do this kind of, you know, height, width, or you can say different column layout for different devices. We can easily control through that, but I'm not gonna focus that on for now. So now, so for laptop I'm gonna give it a 3 and desktop for 3. So you'll see here it is shrink here, and then the next thing we are gonna do is, this is the little information about opening hour, and this is for call for free consultation. So we are gonna complete that one now. So what we are gonna do is we'll use actually this text reusable. Let's do that here, and then we'll say this is header. Just gonna create a folder and to keep everything in there. This is actually a good design. So you're gonna say the first one, it says that opening hour, so you can say opening hour text box, and then here we're gonna give this one maybe 2. So the opening hour is there. Okay, now we need another one here, and we'll say, okay, if it doesn't work, then we just need to retry again. This is also header. We'll say free consultation. Okay, I'm just gonna be a bit faster here. So now the same way we can give it a 2 column for this design for desktop and mobile, and then we'll see this is called free consultation, and along the way we can actually give it something, some content here. So we can say opening hour 9 to 5, something like this. So you can even open this one, and you can say this one would be your heading 1. Well, not this one. Let me check this one. Yeah, so basically this one would be top, just to make it a bit opening hour. So you can say that here, and then here you can say, you can open this one, and you can say this number, any number, maybe plus 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and then you can say this one as your heading, and then here it also says that call us for free consultation, call us for free consultation, something like this. Okay, so now very importantly, the next thing we have to do is these 4 different you know, link basically with the images. So there are many things you can do through that. So you can actually use the list. So we have the in the page container, we have actually navigation, you have the link list. So you can use the link list, or you can simply use any link, whichever you think is good for you. So I am actually going to do with the image. That would be easier for me, I guess. So what I'll do is I'll use this image here. Okay, and then this will be in the header. I'll say this is for Facebook, right? So the first one is for LinkedIn, Twitter. So you can say TW, and then we are gonna give it only on. Okay, but don't be big. So this is our okay, number 1. Number 2 would be Facebook. I'm gonna do this one, create FB image here. So later on we can interact, we can add many interaction, like how you actually click that on, it will go to your different, you know, URL. This is really easy. We'll do that later. So 1 and then the next one we can say here Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. So LinkedIn in, you can say this one here, give it on, column only. Okay, and then the last but not least, we're gonna use this another one. This is called what is it, Instagram, yeah. Oh, sorry, one. Okay, so look at this design. So we are actually ready for the first the header first row. The second row we have a navigation and the link. So we need to save it now. Then in the second row, what we are gonna do is we are gonna drag a navigation here. Then in the navigation we have the navigation list. Sorry, the navigation itself. So you can drag this one here, and then you just need to configure something. So here you'll see here this is actually spanning through the half of the space, so we are gonna give it 6 because 12 is the maximum, so we will do 6. And then also we need to configure something here. So we'll say the navigation filter is the main navigation, and then what we'll also do is we'll say the navigation will be a horizontal navigation. So that way you can see this design is also already looking like a sort of navigation. And then the next thing you need to do is you need to have a link, right? Link will represent this get appointment, and then link you can provide here, maybe yeah, here, and then just create a link folder for that header. And then in the folder let's create a link called appointment. Okay, so appointment is there, so you're gonna give it another 6, another half, and we'll say okay. See, it's already there, but the next thing we also need to do, we need to align this onto the right so that it looks a bit okay. And then we just need to provide the link where it will go when you click this get appointment, right? So there should be some pages for that. So right now we have only home page, so we are gonna just link that home page, and we'll change this one later on, obviously. So we can say what is the name? It says get appointment. Okay, let's do that. Get appointment. Okay, save it. So our header is ready. So now the header mock is ready. It's not a real content, but you can I'll show you. I mean, we actually use different data source, right? So when we created this one, we use the data source, means you can anytime go there and you can change your content in terms of the look, feel, everything. It's completely manageable now. It's not a static thing anymore. So the similar way, when we will give you the main content thing in the body, then it will also be through different templates, through different maybe module that we will create later on. And every time there would be some sort of opportunity for the content editor to change it. Okay, so quickly, header is already there or completed. So footer, I will quickly do the footer, and then probably I'm not sure that if I could finish the footer. Maybe footer I will finish in the second video, but for now I think what we can do is, so header, so let's jump into another one called footer. So footer will be done in my next video, but the next thing we need to do is, if you see here the home, so if you go in the Experience Accelerator, then you will see home doesn't have anything right now. So it has the default layout that SXA provides out of the box. So we just need to take that. So since the partial design is complete, then we need to go to the page design. So in the page design, you can actually create your page design here, or you can reuse the existing one. So for now, what I can do is I can use the default one that we already have here. In the default design, what we need to do, we need to compose. So here we'll say, okay, I have the footer and header. Take this one and compose the page. And header and footer, it is always good practice to follow the sequence here, because header, metadata, and footer. Metadata is the default, where you will find a lot of different stuff out of the box from the SXA. So we need to keep that. And header, footer, the alignment is important here, because it is not very important for this page, because header and footer we only have a single placeholder. But if you have, for example, a different placeholder for header and footer we have, so that's why it is not impacted. But if you have a scenario where maybe a single placeholder might have 3 different component, so you need to make the order right, so that the component will pushed in the right order, which is really, really important. So this is done. So this is the number 1. You compose the default one. And then in the page design, you also need to tell something here. So you need to tell that this is the theme is different. So we are now accessing the wireframe, right? So if you create your own theme, I will actually later on, I mean maybe 4 or 5 or 6 video, I will explain the theming. So that is the different part, but idea is you can create your own theme and you can actually wire up the theme here, but for now it would be obviously wireframe. And then here in the page, you have different pages. So right now I have home page, right? So in the home page, this is the home page. You can actually link that in the home. This is basically the template. See, is a template. So if you create your template, you will also find this on here. If that template, you know, inherited the SXA page template, and this definitely, whenever we will try to create any template, then we'll actually extend that from the SXA page template, because you will get a lot of heaps of different features through that. We will not miss that one, but that is a different discussion. So now in the home template, home is here. We are gonna use the default page design, and that's it actually. So now if I explore the home page, sorry, not this home, and the experience editor, you will see that your header is pretty much here. You will see here, I mean in the header section, if you go to in the experience editor, then you will actually configure everything. You can change the image, you can do whatever you really need to do. And yeah, well, so this is the thing. I mean, so today we completed this one. This is basically the header section that we have completed. Sorry, which one? Yeah, this one. Yeah, this is not yet published. Okay, so today I have completed this one, header. So next day, because footer is a bit complex, so if you see the footer has different sections, so we can consider this one as a separate row. Then row number 1, that second row will have this 4 1 2 3 4 column layout thing with some, this is the some about us information. Then we have some link list here and here. Here are also some sort of information, and also some different button and everything. And then here we can consider this one is as another row with some link as well. And then final, there is another row with some information here, right, in the left and right aligned. So we'll do that, we'll complete that on in the second video. And the third video, we'll try to create this what is it, this carousel kind of thing. And then also we'll try to create our own module in the third video, and we'll see that how actually you can manage this kind of thing. So this is just see, this is the learn about us. So this is the title, you have some summary here, and then you have an image also. And then so maybe so the idea would be there would be a place where through a template, obviously a content editor can create different content, this kind of content, and anytime they can change this content and publish the website, and accordingly that content will be published. So obviously that would be completely dynamic sort of thing. So we'll actually provide we'll create our own maybe module or something to accomplish that feature. And then here again another thing here we have, so we'll also create a sort of module where it has a sort of header, and then it has different what can we say, this one different teaser kind of thing. So it has a sort of image, and then a title, subtitle, and then a link button. Or we can create our own own module, own design, but it is always good to use the existing one and reuse as much as you can. So that way SX will be really beneficial. And then this is also, so we will have our own different design. In some cases we will actually reuse the existing one, some cases we will create our own module. But obviously we will try to mock everything first through that design. And when we will say mock, this is not actually a mock, total mock, the design only mock, this design only mock, but the content is real. You can create your content, you can change your content, you can publish anytime, and you can see the thing automatically. And your front-end developer can push the CSS and style later on, or you can say in a timely fashion, and you will see your content is sort of live in terms of design. Okay, so I think that's all. It's already over 20 minutes, I guess. So hope I can catch you in the next video very soon, because we need to complete the footer section in the next video. Till then, bye bye.